Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World, and let's just talk. Do you know someone who's been living with a persistent cough? Well, if so, they could be one of the 12 million adults in the United States living with a chronic cough. Here now to talk about chronic cough and resources, including a new healthy living app that may help you, are pulmonologist Dr. MeiLan and National Senior Director of Lung Disease at the American Lung Association, Bev Stewart. Welcome to our show. How are you today?
Great. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, listen.
Yes, thank you.
I know sitting on a plane, you hear somebody, you go, oh my gosh, no, I can't handle this. I don't want to get sick. Am I right? Yes, absolutely.
I know it can be really stressful.
Extremely stressful. You know, Dr. Hahn, would you welcome to our show and tell us what really is chronic cough? Because it's not maybe like any other cough that you might have with a cold. Am I correct?
Right. We're not just talking about the common cough that many of us get to, say, to allergies or cold. A chronic cough actually lasts longer than 8 weeks. And patients with this condition cough in bouts they can't control. They feel this sudden strong urge to cough or tickle in their throat before the coughing starts. So as you mentioned, coughing is a normal bodily function. It's a reflex that helps protect our airways. But for some patients, that reflex actually becomes disordered and it leads to this persistent or chronic cough. As you mentioned, in the US, we have over 12 million Americans living with this condition. It affects both men and women, but actually is a little bit more common in women, with the most common patient that you might see being a woman in her 50s.
Okay, so the other thing I want to ask you is, how might a healthcare provider investigate a chronic cough? I mean, you have to go in to see your healthcare person first. And especially if somebody a little older, you want to bring somebody with you, right? To make sure that you know exactly what's going on.
You're right. So your healthcare provider will start by asking questions about the cough, probably do a physical exam, and then they'll run some tests. So I'm a lung physician. A lot of times I'll start with a breathing test and maybe a chest x-ray or a CAT scan. But your doctor may refer you to other types of specialists. This could include an allergist, an ear, nose, throat doctor, even a gastroenterologist to run tests. One of the reasons that I'm here today, though, is to try to get out the word about a great educational resource called the coughchronicles.com. It's a website that's sponsored by Merck, the American Lung Association, the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, and the Allergy and Asthma Network. Patients can go to the website and get all sorts of great information about what chronic cough is and how to manage it.
And so would you give us that one more time, doctor, if you don't mind? That site, because a lot of people have this situation. And a lot of people may have asthma and other things. Does that make it even harder to diagnose?
Sometimes getting the diagnosis right can be challenging. You're absolutely right. And that's why people need to go and talk to their doctor. And again, the coughchronicles.com, the website is a really great place to start.
Coughchronicles.com. Okay. So let me ask, thank you, doctor. That's really informative. And, you know, I actually have a really good friend that's a pulmonologist, so I talk to her all the time about different things like this. This is wonderful. So, Bev, let me ask you, in your experience working with chronic cough patients, what challenges do people living with the condition experience?
So people with the chronic cough often describe their condition as being disruptive and being frustrating, interfering with their daily activities. And they may talk about sudden bouts of waking up in the middle of the night and having uncontrollable coughing and not being able to fall back asleep until that coughing subsides. So it can really interfere with that good night's sleep that people are looking for. And I've also been told by a lot of people that they'll avoid some public gatherings or make adjustments to the gathering. A good example for this would be you or I. If we're going to a movie theater, if we're going to a wedding, we're going to find that best seat in the house to have a really good view, right?
Right.
But if you've got somebody with a chronic cough, what they're thinking about is, oh, I need to find a seat in the back. I need to find a seat in the back on the aisle so that if I start coughing, that I can leave quickly and not disrupt other people, because people who have this condition, they're thinking about coughing all the time, even when they're not coughing.
That's the truth. You know, how can the chronic chronicles and associated tools support people in their chronic cough journey?
So the coughchronicles.com can be a key resource for people who are looking to learn more about chronic cough. There is real life stories of people who are experiencing chronic cough and really talk about how it impacts their lives. There's a great new resource called the Cough Tracker, and it's a healthy living app. It's free to download. It's easy to use. What it does is it tracks the number of times you're coughing and records them over a certain amount of time. And this isn't a diagnostic tool, but what it can do is help you identify triggers that might be causing you to cough, and also to have a more productive conversation with your healthcare provider about what you're experiencing.
Right. And I think it's so important to understand what it is and to be able to take something that helps you, especially a tool like that. And you can download it on your phone too, can't you? Right?
Correct.
So
yep, Android or Apple.
Right. And that's what I have. So you want to give people, you and Doctor would like to give people where they can go for more information and resources, because I think this is really important for people to understand that. And especially older people, take somebody with you, you know, and that will help and teach them what the app is. Wouldn't that be a great idea, especially for people that are over like 70 or 80 or 90 years old, which may have one and didn't even know it, right?
Yeah,
well,
I
always
often
appreciate people.
Okay, one at a time. Here we go. Doctor.
Oh, I was just going to say we often encourage my patients to bring someone with them, because you're right, it can be difficult to remember everything, and people try to write everything down, but sometimes it just helps to have an extra person there.
I always do. It doesn't matter how old you are. You never know what everything is going on at the same time. And especially if you're not feeling good. And there's been a lot of allergens out there lately. And getting on a plane sometime, you go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle this or not. And I want to thank you both for being with us today. You've really given us a lot of information. One more time, Bev, you give the website.
Absolutely. Speak to your healthcare provider if you have any questions, and visit thecoughchronicles.com.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to have you both, Dr. Hahn and Bev. Thank you so much for what you do in your mission to make people feel better. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after these important messages on Kathryn Raaker's World and Let's Just Talk. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World and Let's Just Talk. And I have the honor of being in between two wonderful performers, absolutely the greatest. And one is country soul artist JLee. She is a singer, songwriter. She's been entertaining various audiences for over 20 years. Her roots are gospel, soul, and country. And Donna Snow King, third generation house mover. We move houses, historical buildings, and even outhouses. And you are part and parcel of the rodeo royalty.
Yes.
And you work with the military community and many other things. And we're going to talk to both of you. And JLee, if you don't mind.
No,
I haven't met JLee yet. But JLee, it's an honor to meet you. And are you from this area originally?
I was born and raised in Florida.
In Florida?
Yes.
And how did you come to Nashville? Are you still living in Florida?
No, I moved from Florida to Nashville.
Oh, you did?
And then I moved from Nashville
To where?
Texas.
To Texas. So you're in Texas with our sweet lady right here, and that's Donna. And Donna, you know, how long have the two of you been performing together?
Well, I guess collectively, if you add it all up, about a day and a half.
Really? True. Oh, this is a new one for me.
True story. True. Yeah, about a day and a half.
And actually, they're really good together. We're going to get to hear them in just a little while, right?
Well, I hope you still think that after you hear us.
Oh, not to worry. You know I can't carry a tune, so no, and I wasn't going to say that. I mean, this has just been the best experience of my life to be here. We want to thank our hostess, Rebecca Bagwell, for her generosity in opening up her brand new studio.
Yes.
To us. I think we're the first ones, right? And it's been such a joy, right?
It has.
And now I'll tell you the story about the Bagwell.
Okay.
No, I'm going to. Like it. It's my show.
Oh.
Okay. So, anyhow, actually, I was approached by a gentleman that used to own a race team out of Indianapolis, and his wife invented what they call the Bagwell. And the Bagwell actually holds a quart bag. No, not a quart bag, a gallon bag. And you put it over the top. It's like 4 prongs. It's plastic. It won't destroy. Mm-hmm. And I use it on all my cooking shows. Oh. And then he licensed it out. So I promised Rebecca that I was going to send her a Bagwell. Everybody should have one, right? So anyhow, that's the story of the Bagwell. But let me ask you, you should perform together. You're great. Why not?
Well, like I said, I hope you think that after you hear us.
Well, I kind of heard you doing a rehearsal, so it kind of hurt.
Oh, so now right. The truth is coming
out.
Now
the truth is coming out. Okay. So, anyhow, where do you perform? You perform regularly, right, JLee?
Yes.
And where do you perform in Texas?
Actually, I perform at most of the cowboy churches.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Not restricted to that, just the cowboy churches, but that's pretty much.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been your wonderful career for the last 20 years then?
No.
No?
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
So,
actually, I've been doing that for probably about 4 years.
4 years?
And it's usually to help churches that do not have in-house band.
Right.
And I go and I help them and I provide them music, Sunday morning music, so that they will have music for their services.
Wonderful.
And,
that's great.
And they'll call me,
well, that's
to come help
wonderful.
them out.
That's beautiful. And what, you were a DIY queen for 12 seasons.
13 seasons.
13
Don't cut me short here, Kathryn.
I'm not cutting short.
13.
Okay, 13 seasons, right? And actually, I love DIY. I love it. I love it.
I grew that. We couldn't afford anything else. We always had to do it ourselves. And then it became a thing.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that.
Yeah, it became a thing.
It became a thing, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry's doing it now, right? Mm-hmm. But you were one of the first ones, right? Was it in Texas that you started the show?
Yes, it was. Texas Flip and Move.
Flip and Move.
We was on the DIY channel.
Okay.
The pilot actually broke all records that they had, and every season continually broke all records that they had.
And then what happened?
Oh. No, the network was purchased by Discovery Channel, and then they sold the DIY channel off, and then they went a different direction.
Right.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna stop me now.
No, we're gonna do something, aren't we?
Yeah,
yes, we are.
You got that right, girlfriend. Yeah, we are.
It's really funny. I do a lot of products on our shows and represent a lot of different products, and paint was one of them. And actually, I got a phone call from one of the paint distributors that does, you can take a table, like a high table and 4 chairs.
So they said, we want you to do a DIY show. And I went, oh, okay, no problem, just send me the paint. So they sent me 3 little cans of paint and a big can of paint. The primer was the big can, right? And I went, how am I going to do this? So I called my friend who loves to do DIY. And we went down in my basement and we filmed it there. Of course, the floor in the basement got a little paint specks and everything. Still, we have it on there. So I put carpets down so you can't tell, right? But it did turn out beautiful. It became red, white, not red, white, and blue, but red, white, and black.
I bet that was pretty.
And you know what? You didn't have to do any sanding at all. You just put that primer on, doesn't matter, and then you put the other paint on it, and I'll have to send you a picture on it. So anyhow, tell me what you're doing with these wonderful, beautiful princesses and queens and all of the people from the foundation. Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh, girl. I'm head of the Queen's Committee. I'm the chair of the Queen's Committee. And then I have a P posse that helps me. That is a whole nother show. You don't want me to get started on that right now.
Okay.
So I have P1 and P2, which is Pam and Pamela. And they all, we come together and we help these girls. We decided they need to have encouragement. They need life skill lessons. They need opportunities. They need to know that shoot for the moon, and if you miss the moon, you will land among the stars. So that became something that we are very adamant about. They are up-and-coming generations, and they need to be empowered, and they need to know to follow your dreams. If you want to be a police chief, well, you get in there and you be the best police chief there is. Right. If you want to be a homemaker, you get in there and be the best homemaker there is. And I got to tell you this, we decided to help with life lessons. Not that the parents don't want to offend anybody, but not that the parents don't teach them stuff. But today, a lot of parents will work 2 and 3 jobs.
That's right.
And so we're seeing some life lessons that maybe these girls and the rest of the boys, I'm not going to leave them out. So the cutest thing is, recent years we had a tire changing clinic. We had that at my house. Well, what was so cute is I'm coming in late from work. I roll in the back where they're back in front of the arena. And I saw one of our team members. She was over there by her car, and she was so giddy. She was left-handed. She was so giddy. And I walked up to her, and I said, sweetie, I said, did you learn to change a tire? She says, no, but I can open the hood of my car now. She did not know how to open the hood of her car. And that is, you sit there and you think, wow, I just helped her. And then she's going to turn around and she's going to help someone. Yeah. And that's our mission. That's what we're all about, is helping these young ladies. Right. Because who knows, they may be picking out nursing homes for us someday.
That's the truth. I don't think I'll be there, but because
you never know, girlfriend.
People ask me how long I'm going to work till I die.
There you go.
That's the new way people think today. So, but I used to run assisted living homes. Okay. And so I know all about nursing homes and assisted living. My mom swore she would never go in one. Well, she did. And they loved her, I got to tell you. For 5 years she was there, and she ran the place. So anyhow, tell me what your goal is with the foundation, and the two of you need to get together and perform all the time. I got to tell you, right? Doesn't that sound like fun?
It was fun.
Yeah.
But you know, my main reason to be here today, and I love Miss Donna, you know I love her to pieces, but my main reason today is to encourage these girls, because the young lady that was, her eyes was leaking earlier, I can't even tell you all how frightful I was. I was terrified. I used to be so scared when I would stand up. They would call me up to sing.
Really?
I could barely even get the words out. I was so terrified. I was so bashful until when I would meet somebody passing them, I always looked down. I always looked down at just how bashful I was. And so I want to encourage these girls, you know, you can push through it. you know, and go on to be somebody and be an encouragement to somebody else.
That's right.
You push through it. You push through it. You stand tall. You take the Lord with you. Do the very, very best you can, and put the rest in God's hands.
That's right.
That's what I have to say to these girls. They're beautiful girls.
They are.
They're
so
and
talented.
they need to grow up and be an encouragement to somebody else. Pass the love along.
That's for sure.
I think with the foundation, we want to see it continue to grow for young men and young women. But the focus of the Queen's Committee right now on this is to help open the world up, maybe more so to the young ladies, because somebody that will come out and go through what we put them through and win a crown, what we put them through to be on the youth board of directors, that takes backbone now, and we help them. We're with them every step of the way, and then they are in turn going to reach out and help someone else step up. Now, as far as JLee, I figure her and I, we're going to get famous.
Oh, I know you are.
And we're going to stand and we're going to sing on the Grand Ole Opry, and our very first song is going to go aluminum. That's what I figured. That's what I'm figuring. I'm talking big now.
I know you are.
I'm talking big.
You are so cute, both of you. I mean, seriously, it's an honor. It was an honor to meet you and the two gals that helped you.
P1 and P2.
P1 and P2. And to meet the parents of the gals, and some have their fathers with them, some have their aunts with them, like Aunt Kathryn, right? And, you know, and friends. I mean, that's really important. And to realize that when I first met them, I just couldn't believe their outfits. I couldn't believe them. And I'll tell you what, it was such an honor for me to do it. I've already said I'll do it next year.
Yes, you had. You can't renege on us.
I told you
that. You can't get out of it.
Yeah, no, I can't. I don't want to get out of it. I really don't. I really love it. And I want to thank my producer husband for everything that he does, because without him, we wouldn't be doing this today. How about that?
Well, I have something for you.
You do?
Have you been coined?
Not by you.
Okay. I have 2 coins for you.
Okay.
And I will be very careful because I know you have an ouchy hand.
Yeah, I do have an ouchy hand, and usually I have it in the cast, and I have to tell my doctor, I only hit it off for a little while, okay?
Okay. This first one.
Okay.
That I'm being careful.
Okay.
If you will look at it, that is our rodeo royalty coin.
That's beautiful.
And that's what these young ladies stand for.
Oh, wow. I love the front. You got to see the front and the back. We'll show that on camera. We'll show that on camera. Hello? Could you get a close-up of this, please? No? Okay, we'll take a picture of it, okay? It's gorgeous. It's got the state of Texas on the front of it, and then it's got a cowboy hat on the back, right? Mm-hmm. And it says commitment, integrity, and honesty on the back. Rodeo royalty. I am honored. Thank you so very much.
And I have one more for you.
Okay.
Now that's the coin of my husband. He is retired Lieutenant Commander E.A. Rex King, United States Navy, 35-year service, Vietnam.
Thank you for your service. My brother was in the Navy, and I'm from the Vietnam era as well. And
these are the foundations for Mobility Freedom Mobility Foundation, the Woody Williams.
Okay.
NTRF.
Okay.
And Snow King Ranch, which that's our place.
Okay.
And if you'll flip it over, that's his from Vietnam.
Oh, wow. That's unreal. Are you going to the Vietnam thing in, were you in prison?
No.
At all? Okay. No. Okay. So they're doing that. This year is the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam prisoners from Hanoi and other parts of Vietnam in Loma Linda, California.
Oh.
And your girls actually interviewed some of those Vietnam veterans at the Air Power Foundation. And actually, I was honored the year before to do 11 of those prisoners And I have to tell you, they had a code, just like they did in World War II. They had a code because they couldn't talk to each other. And it was amazing that there was no bitterness at all in their hearts for what they went through. And it was just like meeting, God saved them. It was like meeting angels on earth. That's what it was like. But I want to thank, if there's any other service members here, thank you for your mission. But you know what, ladies, we've run out of time.
Oh, and we was just getting cranked up, girl.
But of the interview, now you're going to perform. So
okay,
we're going to listen to it, and so I'm going to end the show now, right? And you're going to continue, okay?
Right. We're glad to do that for you.
And do you have a website?
Well, I do.
Good. Go right ahead.
It's snowmuchlove.com.
Snowmuchlove.com. How long you been married?
A little over a year.
Oh, so you're another newlywed.
Yeah.
What do you know about that?
But now I'm an amateur radio operator, and my call sign is W5SML. Now that's not CB radio. This is amateur radio. W5SML, which would be Whiskey 5 Sierra Mike Lima. But I choose to look at it as Whiskey Mike Snow Much Love.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you.
Snowmuchlove.com.
All right. And your website?
JLee Music Mix.
JLee
Music Mix. That's
Okay.
JLEE.
Music Mix. Okay. And you want to give the foundation one again?
Yes, thentrf.org. Go look us up. As soon as we get back home, we're going to be loading a buttload of pictures, and buttload is in the dictionary. I teach my kids that. We're going to be uploading a bunch of pictures and stuff for you to enjoy and see, and maybe you can follow along with our travels.
That would be lovely. Absolutely lovely. Thank you so very much. Love you both.
Thank you.
Blessings to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
And you're welcome. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you soon on Kathryn Raaker's World. And let's just talk.